I want you to start off by thinking of a time when you were 6 or 7 years old. Now, think of the house you lived in. Who was in that house that was not your parents? Grandparents, uncles, aunts, cousins, the neighbor down the street whose house you were at all the time, the librarian who started your love for literature and reading, or the coach who taught you how to play first base. You might think that these are background characters in the story of your life, but they are so much more than that. They are actually the building blocks that created your world. I want to talk about the idea of the child in context, moving beyond a simple picture of a child developing and learning the intricate web of families and community that cradles their development and challenges them. We're going to look at the roles illustrated by a powerful psychological framework, including von Bergen's. We'll talk about developing. We often think about the genetics or all about family, but it's much more complicated than that. von Bergen's system theory describes a child as existing within a set of nested environments, like a Russian nesting doll, or a doll within each other. I agree with this theory because I have worked with elementary school students, and they have many different layers that you need to get through to fully understand them. Or like Shrek said, ogres are like onions. They have layers. I have been working with them for the last several years, and I know that first week of school is usually pretty rough on them, and they are quiet and standoffish. But once you get through those layers and they get to know you and you get to know them, their personalities come through and you find the real child within. I've also worked with a high school student who was out for several years due to multiple surgeries, and he finally came back his 11th grade year. And during his meeting, he said that he was afraid that the other students would make fun of him due to his disability and the way he looked with his braces. But we told him, "You'll be fine. You are no different than everybody else." And after about a month of only being able to get a maybe high out of him, he started opening up, and all the students loved him. And I found he is a big jokester, and he has the best smile and the best laughter, and everyone loves him, from his teachers to his peers. So he had nothing to worry about. In a daycare center, the child and their immediate interactions, their family, classroom, and playground, is called a microsystem. This is where socialization begins. They learn how to share, take turns, and say please and thank you, and other social skills they'll need later in life. And as you think of a child in this microsystem, you think of two loving parents and a group of preschool friends. The parents establish a routine: snack, homework, dinner, playtime, bath time, bedtime. This is direct, constant environment that forms a strong foundation for their development. But it doesn't stop there. Outside of this child's home is the exosystem, which consists of external social structures that might not interact with the child directly on a daily basis, but it influences them profoundly. For example, a parent's workplace policy that allows them to have generous parental leave time and flexible schedules so the parent can take off at short notice due to illness, injury, or a school function, causes less stress on the parent and on the child, and the parent is more present in the child's life. And if the company is not willing to accommodate, it becomes more stressful on the parent, which in turn causes stress to the child, even though they are indirectly involved. Moving further out, a macro system is the outmost layer, consisted of the cultural values, laws, customs, and as a society as a whole. It is the blueprint for everything underneath. Family structure, educational, and it's considered to form a normal childhood. Some cultures, the child's world involves a diverse network of uncles and aunts, cousins, and grandparents who all live in the same home. They are all responsible for providing constant support and assistance to the child's development, while in others the family is isolated and relies heavily on daycare to take care of the child, and the child receives the development they need. Neither is right or wrong. just creates a functional, different developmental experiences for the child. The role of culture here is crucial. What environment the child grows up in determines how they develop. It shapes the identity of the child and defining the roles expected in play and values they expect to withhold throughout their life. Some families attend church every Sunday and Wednesday, while other families use Sunday as a catch-up day to prepare for the next week. Neither family is wrong, but the children growing up in different homes and will most likely continue with the same as they reach adulthood that they experienced in childhood. My mother's family attended church every Sunday regularly growing up, but once she started working, she was a nurse, so she used Sunday to prepare for the week, or she was working that day. While her sister continued to attend church every Sunday and has never missed, even when she was sick. An analog that illustrates the power of community to support through this. My house burnt down in September of 2022, and while I was 2 hours away at a family reunion, I lost everything except for the clothes on my back. I rushed back home after receiving a phone call saying that my house was gone. And after only a few hours, several neighbors had stopped by with money and asking what they could do to help. And after Sunday, several churches stopped by with clothes, money, gift cards, school supplies for both of my children. The community did more for us than my own family did. We did not even get a phone call asking if we were okay. I did not have to worry about many things like how I was going to feed my family and clothing for my children because the community made sure we had everything we needed. All I had to worry about was dealing with the insurance and taking care of all of that and finding new housing and cleaning up after this tragedy. And by reducing the stress of losing my home and all the contents, the community ensured that I would be taken care, that I was able to take care of everything else. I didn't have to worry about all this other stuff. And what we saw in both frameworks is that family and communities are a primary agent of socialization. It is a lifelong process through which we learn the norms, values, behaviors necessary to be a positive member of society.